Hello folks, this is Neil from I Will Always Love Video Games, and I have a few questions for Miss Anita Sarkeesian. Many of you know that her third installment and apparently final installment of her Tropes versus Women in Video Games YouTube video series came out yesterday, and she has stirred up a lot of controversy amongst gamers. She's been in gaming news for quite a while now. And now that the series that she has been producing is now over, I feel it's time to finally ask 3 simple questions to Miss Sarkeesian. I have to ask them here because I can't ask her directly, which is one of the things I'll get into. A couple of things before I get started. 1, nothing that I'm going to ask her has anything to do with her opinion. It has nothing to do with what she's trying to express when it comes to her stance on feminism. It has none of the questions I have anything to do with that. I want to get that out of the way and make it perfectly clear. I have no problems with her opinion. I have no problem with what she's trying to say. She does make several good points in her video series. My problems lie with how she's executing those opinions, how she's getting them across, and what she's done in order to get them out to the public. Secondly, I am not a sexist. I actually prefer games with a female protagonist, and whenever I play a game such as a RPG, an MMO, or a sandbox game, I generally like to make a female character. And I do that because, number one, for some reason they just seem more fun to use. And before anybody tries to say, you only do it because you just want to put them in sexy outfits or whatever, and oh, we can say that because look at your last video, where you have a chick running around naked. Before anybody brings that up, 2 things. 1, my previous video was from Saints Row the Third, and it's from a mission in which you're naked. You can't change it. It happens regardless of whether you make a male or a female character. Secondly, my female character in Saints Row the Third is based on the likeness of my wife. I am married. I am happily married, and my wife has no problem with the character that I've created. So, nice try. Don't bring it up. It has nothing to do with what I'm about to talk about. So with that out of the way, here are my 3 simple questions for Miss Anita Sarkeesian. Question number 1. Where did the money for your Kickstarter go? Your followers, your supporters, deserve to know where their money went. She had claimed that the money was going to go towards better production quality for her videos on feminist frequency, and to get games in order to use for her videos for footage. I have seen many videos of hers on feminist frequency, and I see 0 difference in production quality from what she was making then and what she's making now with the Tropes versus Women in Video Games series. I see no improvement in production quality. With the games, there is no way to prove that the footage that she has shown in those 3 videos are from games that she owns. None. And the majority of those videos are cutscenes. There are some scenes with real gameplay, but they're very short. Most of the time, it's cutscene footage. How do we know you didn't just go on YouTube and look up Let's Plays of videos you were going to talk about and just use that footage? The still images that you use in the upper left corner of the screen when you're talking, those can be found on Google. I could just go to Google and look up princesspeach.png or render or vector of whatever I'm going to show and just use that. Same thing with cover art, box art, booklet art. Anything that you've shown is stuff that you can just look up on Google. How can you prove that any of that money that you got from your Kickstarter went towards purchasing the games that you talked about, unless you show that you own them? People can say, oh, well, what about footage that you show in your videos of games? You can't prove that you own them. Here's the difference, though. I didn't ask for money. I didn't ask for funds. Now, I did not fund Miss Sarkeesian. I have not sent her one red cent. But if I did, if she asked for money to buy games, and then I hand her that money, I want to see the game she purchased. I want to see the proof. If my friend asked me for $100 because he needs to pay his bills, and I give him the $100 for the purpose of paying those bills, I want to see proof that he paid his bills and he didn't just use it at the bar or to buy stupid shit. I want the proof. And I expect the same from Miss Sarkeesian. And I believe her followers, her supporters, and her donators also need that proof. So my first question, Miss Sarkeesian, is where did your Kickstarter money go? My second question for Miss Sarkeesian, why do you still have comments blocked for your videos on YouTube? Now, I understand that in her previous videos, by leaving comments open, she has received death threats, rape threats, received, hundreds and hundreds of nasty comments. Okay, I'm not saying she should sit there and take it. Nobody should. She doesn't deserve that. Nobody deserves to be cyberbullied or threatened. And if anyone here has done that, shame on you. Grow up. Really. Don't send death threats because you don't agree with an opinion. That's just childish and stupid. And if you know someone that's done that, they're an asshole too. However, by blocking all comments on her videos, then her videos become nothing but her yelling into an empty void because there's no chance for a discussion. You cannot make a video series that is made to create discussion amongst gamers, to try to make the industry a better place and to get your point across. You cannot do that if you're not going to allow a platform for discussion at all. You don't want to listen to the people who are hating on you and sending you threats? Ignore them. Block them from your page. There's always going to be haters on the internet. If you're trying to initiate a discussion about something that is a touchy subject and you can't deal with the comments that are made back to you, you need to get a thicker skin. And if you can't handle it, then you have no business discussing it. You have no business bringing the topics up. If you can't handle it, then you shouldn't dish it out. It's as simple as that. Anita, if you really want to create real discussion amongst gamers about the damsel in distress trope, then you're going to have to open up the platform for people to give their opinions, to give their counterpoint. Because if you block everybody, then you just look like a bully. You look like someone who is saying, my opinion matters, yours doesn't, whatever, I don't care. I don't care about your opinion. That's the way you look and sound when you allow nobody to comment on your videos. So that is my second question, Anita. Why, after 3 videos, do you still block comments? My third question for Anita Sarkeesian is this, and this is a big one. If you are truly hoping to change things within the industry and get rid of the sexist stigma and change the way women are viewed and played as or used in games, why aren't you putting your videos out towards developers and publishers? Why are you focusing on the consumer who has little to no say in how a game is made? Why aren't you making these videos and sending them to Blizzard, DICE, Nintendo, Sega, Ubisoft, so on and so forth? They are the ones making the games. I am the one buying them. If I see a game as a consumer that I'm appalled by and I'm not interested in, I'm not going to buy it. Your job is to try to get your point across to the people making the games. If you want to initiate change within the industry, you need to be focusing on people in the industry. By putting your videos out on YouTube, all you're doing is inciting hate from people who don't agree with you. You're preaching to the choir to those that do agree with you, and you're making no real change. Whether I agree with your opinions or not, what am I supposed to do with them? I'm not a developer. I'm not a publisher. I have no say in the industry. All I can do is either agree or disagree with you. That's it. That's all I can do. So how did you accomplish anything? What was the point of the video series? Giving your opinion is one thing. If you wanted to just make the series of videos stating your opinion, that's fine. But if you're going to go and say that you're doing it to bring about discussion and initiate change, you're not doing it by telling it to people who just buy games, not make them. So my third question to Anita is, what was the point in all of this? You know, I think these are fair questions. As you can see, none of these questions of mine have anything to do with her stance on females in gaming. Has nothing to do with feminism, has nothing to do with the opinions and the points she was making in her videos. My problem is with how she's going about bringing these opinions to light and how she is sharing them and what she has done in order to do these videos. Your fans deserve to know where their money went. Just recently, Rich from Review Tech USA was ripped apart by Blackbuster Critic because of e-begging. He asked for donations for a camcorder, and Blackbuster Critic called him out on it. Well, what Rich did was he showed a video proving, here's the camera I got with your donations. And he had promised his donators, his followers, that he would reciprocate the money by paying it forward to Child's Play, the charity. Well, he put up pictures and video proving, hey, the money that you guys sent me, I saved up enough to pay it back, and I paid it forward to Child's Play. Here are the receipts. Okay, cool. Now, I personally didn't send him any money, but if I did, I'd be fine with it, because now I see, okay, he did what he said he was going to do with the money, and here's the proof. Anita, the people who backed you, you need to show them the equipment that you bought to make your videos better, or software that you purchased in order to edit your videos better, or whatever you did. You need to show that you own the games with the footage that you used. You need to show that. If you want to discuss things with people, you have to open up your comment section. As for the haters, ignore them or block them. Get them out of the way, because by shutting everybody up, you have offered no platform for discussion whatsoever. You are exhibiting the ostrich syndrome. Remember the movie Clerks? I don't know who here has seen it, but the ostrich syndrome. If you don't see it, it isn't there. And that's what's happened with your comment sections. Oh, I block it. I don't see it. I can't discuss it. Your opinion means nothing. I don't see it, so I don't have to deal with it. No, can't do that. And one other thing. This is not really a question, so I didn't put it with the other questions. This is just something I wanted to say. It took you, Anita, 3 videos to finally mention positive female gaming role models. And you really just brushed them off. You finally mentioned Jade from Beyond Good and Evil, and you talked about her for about 10 seconds, claiming it's one of your favorite games. If you don't think that gamers out there want to have positive female protagonists in their games, then how come Beyond Good and Evil 2 is one of the most requested games in history? People are going nuts. They want to play as Jade again. Why do you think fans were upset with Metroid Other M when Samus Aran, a positive female gaming role model, was basically turned into a... Yeah, anyone who's played the game knows what they did to Samus. So if you don't think that there are gamers out there who don't want a positive female role model, then you're out of touch. Because there are tons of these games. There are tons of these characters that gamers, male and female alike, want to see return. They want strong female role models. Faith from Mirror's Edge. Look what happened in the gaming community when EA said they were canceling Mirror's Edge 2. There was a friggin' uproar until they brought it back. There are plenty of positive female gaming role models, and you barely mentioned them, including Chell from Portal, a silent, strong protagonist. You did not mention the Portal series once. And with Portal, the protagonist and antagonist are female, and you didn't mention them at all. You cannot just shove off, wave off things that don't fit your narrative. Remember, just because you don't see it or want to bring it up doesn't mean that it's not there, Anita. Again, I would like to get a reply from Ms. Sarkeesian, but I probably won't. Instead, I'll probably end up getting a ton of hateful comments from her supporters calling me a sexist pig, even though, as you've listened to this commentary, I have not said anything sexist. I have not said anything about Anita personally. I have not used any profanity towards her. And this video, once again, I'll reiterate for a third time, has nothing to do with her opinions, some of which I do agree with. It's just about the way that she went about making the videos and the things that I feel she needs to do for her followers. That's all that this is about. Miss Sarkeesian, I would love to hear back from you, but I have a feeling I'm not going to, and I wouldn't be surprised if I didn't. Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening to my commentary. If you'd like to give me your thoughts, go right ahead, leave them in the comments section. Don't forget to rate, favorite, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time on I Will Always Love Video Games. See you later.